Welcome to Toffee TV for this opposition match preview. I am joined by Phil Holloway from Leicester Fan TV. Don't forget, this week's game is on BT Sports. Everton will feature twice in the next 10 days, including this week, 8:15 p.m. kickoff. That's on Wednesday, the 27th of January. With BT Sport monthly pass, Evertonians will be able to watch Everton in the next few weeks against Leicester, Newcastle and Leeds away. It is £25 for the next 30 days with no contract. To sign up, click the link in the description. Phil, welcome to Toffee TV.
Hi Peter, how are you?
Not too bad. Looking forward to this game. This is well, it's a big game, isn't it? It really is. You guys at the moment sitting in third place, doing really well. We're not having a bad season ourselves, so this is shaping up to be a really good game of football.
Happy days, isn't it? Happy days to see Leicester against Everton being like up near the top of the table. We've had a few years between us where it's been a bit of relegation fodder and mid-table stuff. So it's quite nice to see both clubs up there challenging around, as you will no doubt think, the so-called Big Six. It's nice to be showing that they're not always the same Big Six.
Well, I mean, that's funny, isn't it? Because I think this season, Leicester have almost cracked that Big Six. And when I say that, what I mean is from a media point of view, Leicester City, I think, listen, you won the league a few years ago when I was actually in the stadium when you got the trophy. And it was a very strange day. And I'm sure it was a very happy day for you guys, but I'm sure you also found it just the whole thing must have been surreal for you guys. Yeah. But I think in the last couple of seasons under Brendan Rodgers, this is something we really battle with. Is that you guys are now starting to look and be looked at by the media and respected by the media as one of the Big Six.
Yeah, I mean, from a Leicester fans' point of view, we tend to feel like the media don't quite give us the credit. Here's a stat for you.
Go on.
Leicester City have been in the top four of the Premier League since August 2019, apart from one day, which was the last game of last season when we lost to Man United at home and dropped out top four. Since then, we've been in the top four all last season and all of this season.
That's incredible. I mean, that just pays. It just shows how well Brendan Rodgers has done coming in as manager. But do you think this team's better than the team that won the title?
It probably is the answer, or it probably could be, I guess, is the real thing. We've got the team that won the Premier League was like the ultimate has-beens team. People didn't want them. We got freebie players. We got a player from Villa. They didn't want Marco Brighton. We got Jamie Vardy, a non-league player who people you paid £1 million for him. We have Danny Simpson, who was rejected from Man United and QPR. We had a right mixture, a mixed bag. It was a proper football team, if you like. Of rejects and has-beens and all sorts. This team now that's been built is actually they're all young, they're all fresh, they're all up and coming. There's quite a lot of British and homegrown talent in there from coming up from teams like Norwich and Luton. Again, proper players with a sprinkling of good scouting from continental clubs. We take Leicester a bit like Everton. I think Everton tend to buy players who are a bit more established. Leicester tend to go for those who are on the way up and have a bit of a punt. And it doesn't always work out, but it has been.
To be fair, I think your system's worked a lot better than our system, because I look at Leicester and I think you always seem to buy the players that we look at and go, no. Like James Maddison, who's been in great form recently. I mean, I wouldn't say he's not carrying you. That's far too disrespectful. But what I mean is, I think in the last few weeks he stepped up when obviously Jamie Vardy's been carrying this hip injury, which is going to see him out of this game. But he's really stepped up. Now, he was a player that Everton looked at and mulled over for a whole summer, and you got him and you just jumped in and got him, and that's fair play. But we'd got Gylfi Sigurdsson like the year before.
Yes.
And for like 45 million. And that was the problem. We in maybe not as much now, but certainly in those years when you were picking up these players, and we still are to a degree, we've been looking, like you said, at players maybe who've got less risk, but are a little bit older, where you've been going on and taking the punt on the younger player, and it's worked out, and that's down to good scouting. And then when a player is ready to leave, You've been getting good money for them, and again, going back and replacing them with good talented players for a lot less. So I think in terms of the system, I think your system has been a hell of a lot better. I don't know why. Leicester City, to me, you as a team, as a club, don't seem to have any issues or chip on your shoulder about selling someone for 50, 60 million or higher, as we've seen with Maguire, and then bringing someone in. In fact, as a club, you seem to be relishing that. And it's something that we're seeing a lot more now on the continent, and people are getting a lot of praise for. And you're doing it in this country, and I think it's very successful. And we've been at the other end of things where we've been buying players too old, too expensive, and really don't have the talent.
I think it's frustrating from a fan's point of view. But again, if you just sort of, I know at some point we'll all be talking about James Maddison.
Yeah.
Is he going to go to Man United or Liverpool, one of the big clubs? Who's spending 60, 70, 80, 90 million pounds on it? We've had it with Mahrez. We've had it with Maguire. It just seems that is the model that Leicester work to. The owners and the chairman they're quite honest about it. We want to be up there, but we are going to run this as a business. We're going to have a go at bringing through fresh talent. But I think that helps bring in the talent.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Younger players start thinking, I'm going to go Leicester because if I do well at that club, it's going to go up and up. We've signed from Luton a lad called James Justin, fullback. Again, I think we paid $3.5 million for him. But the Luton fans, as soon as we bought him, said he'll play for England. We've been talking about him. It'll be England's left back. And to start with, it took him a good few months to little bed into the Premier League. It was a big step up from Luton, but he is now he's most fans' player of the season so far. And again, he's already probably worth 20, 30 million pounds now. But it's an interesting one from a fan's point of view. We just need to hold on to enough of them, enough of the time, so that we can challenge.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've done something similar this summer. We went and got Ben Godfrey, but we paid a lot more for him because obviously he played in the Premier League, and it's similar. The fans take to those players, I think, straight away, and because they are fighters, and that's what I see with a lot of the Leicester players, and it obviously came from Jamie Vardy in the first place. It's buying players who are on the up and aren't established and want to make a name for themselves and want to fight for the team, and you've got a really good mix there, as you said. Someone like James Justin, you've got Harvey Barnes, a young player who's come through, and with the mix, Fofana is only young as well. There's a really good balance of players who are really hungry. At the other end of the scale, you've got like Johnny Evans, who was a fantastic buy, an absolutely amazing buy for £3 million. And, he's at the other end. He's still fighting for his Premier League career. He brings that experience, and it's just that really good balance. And as you say, because your owners are really honest, I think that really helps, because there's far too many clubs, and we've been far too guilty of this in the past. It's far too many clubs going around saying they're going to do things and never live up to it, or shy away from the fact that they will have to sell a player at some time. So when they come to sell a player because of the financial reasons, everyone gets a shock, and then everyone gets on the back where, you absolutely love your owners. And obviously we all know what happened, with them and stuff. And it really just feel like it's really coming together, and you've got a really good coach as well. And as you said before, you've only been out the top four for one game. I mean, it was the last game of the season last season, but everything's going on the right way.
You look at Harry Maguire, and I still rate Harry Maguire as a really good centre back, but I would say really good. But when clubs like Man United come in and offer, silly money, £85 million, most Leicester fans were like, I don't want to sell him, but heck, it's the same with James Maddison. Don't want to sell him, but if somebody comes and offers 80, 90 million pounds and we can go and reinvest that, it's just business sense, isn't it? It's club sense. But fans get it.
Yeah, and I think, but the difference is, though, and this is the difference, I think, with you guys, is you want to keep them because you want to build that side. And I think certainly what Everton fans have been guilty of, and clubs around maybe the top four and stuff, they're guilty of losing face because they're having to sell those players. Whereas you've just said it yourself, it's good business sense. If you've got a player and you can replace him, and you can, with FFP and everything, and you can bring someone in, and you also trust the people at the club to replace them, then that makes a massive difference to the continuity of a team. I think, because at some point, though, it might turn around. James Maddison might decide, no, I'm on the up here. Because I think, we've seen it at other clubs. I think Liverpool were in a similar position a few years back where they were selling, everyone was leaving, and then it got to a point where the players they've got now are probably turning around and went, no, we can win trophies here.
Yes.
And I wonder whether it'll be the same at Leicester, whether a lot of those players decide, why go? Because I think what helps as well, and we've seen this loads, is you get a player and he's doing really well, and then suddenly he wants to leave. And they go, and they never make it. They never make it at the big club they're going to, and then their career gets turned upside down. I mean, Ross Barkley at the moment's a good example of that. He wants to get out of Everton, goes to Chelsea. Okay, he's won a couple of trophies without really playing, and now he's a Villa on loan, and you might find happiness at Villa. But it is that you want to find somewhere where you think everything's fine. I want to see out my career at this club, and Leicester just seems to be a really good model at the moment, and you're doing brilliantly in the league. As I said, you went top for a night this week, which must have been really good. We've had that ourselves this season, and it just puts a smile on your face. And I suppose the longer that goes on during the season, the longer you're sort of still up there. I mean, as you said before, you had the woes of last season, but the longer you're up there, it must become. This might happen, because I think at the moment we're a little bit like, oh yeah, we're in and around it. We win our 2 games in hand, we go third, but with Everton, we know what'll happen. But for you guys, the longer you stay up there, you must be starting to get that feeling that, yeah, we are actually a good team.
I mean, we all cheered when Liverpool lost to Burnley. I'm sure you guys did more than most.
No, totally professional. I was thinking, no, I'd rather that was a draw.
Yeah, but it shows that this season is open. I mean, The media are saying it's Man City's to lose, but hey, if you look at the points, it's very close. There's going to be some strange results between now and the end of the season. So I think this season is really open. I think Leicester could be in there. I think you guys, Everton, could be in there again. When you guys are on song, I love watching Rodriguez, Calvert-Lewin. When you guys are hitting form, you are probably one of the best teams in the league to watch.
We don't hit form though. That's
the consistency.
Without being disrespectful we're not. When we started the season, we looked really, really good.
Yes.
And then we had a drop off where we didn't win a game. We won 1 game in 7. That was against Fulham. And then at the beginning of December, people were starting to question whether we had the right mix of players. And then Carlo Ancelotti just went, right, we're not conceding any more goals. That's it. We're not conceding any more goals. He put 4 centre-backs at the back, and you've seen it. You've seen it when we played against you guys. And we were like, no, break us down. Come and break us down, and we'll let you on the counter-attack. And that's how, basically, we beat you at your gaff. And that's how we've been beaten by the likes of Leeds and West Ham at home, is because we're at home. And this is where it's going to be interesting on Wednesdays, because at home, we're not as good as we are away. We normally have a...
Same for Leicester.
Yeah, well, we would know, and it's the same thing. I think we normally have a terrible away record, but this year has been really good because we're sitting in, we're soaking it up. We've got good defenders when they playing the low block, and then we hit teams on the counter attack. And we've seen it at Wolves a couple of weeks ago as well. And that's where it's going to be interesting this game, because you haven't got Vardy. It'll be interesting to see how we tactically set up, whether we sit in. Or because we are the home team, there's always that thing of, well, we better push on. And that's where we've been caught against. I mean, the last game we got beat, West Ham, for 80 minutes, it was drab. It was awful. They didn't want to come out. We didn't want to come out. And then they hit us with a sucker punch, and we couldn't really get back into the game. There's no fans there. And that's that. I think that's the tale of a lot of teams this season. They're just saying to the opposition, come and break us down.
Yeah, well, like you say, in that game at the King Power Stadium in mid-December, you guys did come and do that, and it was a frustrating watch from Leicester's point of view, because we could see what you were doing, and it was sort of like my frustration with Brendan Rodgers at times is we don't seem to have much of a plan B, a switch it up and just think, look, Everton are defending like this, we're going to have to do something different, and you did frustratingly come and get to the goals on the counter-attack, and, you sort of, well, you get to the end of that match and you're scratching your head going, well, they just did what we thought they might come and do. But, it wasn't anything amazing, but it was well done and well played. And Leicester, I've got more hope of us coming away at you guys than if we were playing this match at the King Power. I think, like you say, our key, one of the keys for Leicester is at the moment, like you say, Jamie Vardy out. He's scored quite a lot of goals again this season, which is great. He is just, I think if you have him in the team, opposition defence just has to keep an eye on him. And that for us, that takes one or two, maybe three players at times to keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
And that opens room out for Maddison. And, we've had defenders scoring even coming through. So without him there, and this is no offence to Kelechi Iheanacho, but he ain't Jamie Vardy.
No, he isn't. But he always seems to score against us.
Well, yeah. But he's not that fast.
No.
His first touch often is a pass. It's not, he is not. There's only one Jamie Vardy for Leicester at the moment.
Oh no, we always say he is like two players. He is like a forward line on his own. It's actually what we've started to see from Dominic Calvert-Lewin this season.
Yes, indeed.
He's starting to become
carrying the line a bit.
He occupies two players now. They've both got to worry about him because he's so good in the air. He has got to turn a pace. He's not got the pace like Jamie Vardy, but he has got to turn a pace, and he'll be back for this game. But we're missing our best two midfielders, Allen and Decore, sitting in midfield. So, I imagine we haven't got any similar like Vardy. We haven't got anyone else like Decore, someone big, physical, who's got pace in midfield. He's suspended for this game.
He's played almost every game, hasn't he?
He has. He should have been suspended for the Villa game, but obviously that got called off due to the COVID situation. So we haven't been without both of those players. Allen's not due back to the beginning of February, so we haven't had both of those players missing. So this will be the first time that we've really played without both of them. So that's going to be really interesting. We're going to be back in the last season when we had like the likes of Gomez and the likes of Tom Davis and likes of Sigurdsson. We were absolutely dreadful in midfield, just dreadful. We lost every battle in midfield, and that's going to be an interesting one on Wednesday as well, at middle of the park. So both teams are missing really, really key players, and in a game of such importance, I suppose that balances it out a little bit. So I think it's going to be a really good game, and I think both teams are up there. They're looking to take it because, as you said, it's wide open. It's absolutely wide open. The stadiums without fans. There's going to be the back end of the season. You guys are still in the Europa League, and you've got a really good chance of that, I think, as well, just because of the squad you've got. But that's going to take up your Thursday nights. The fixtures are starting to pile up. We've got to play Man City there in the Champions League. When's that game going to be played? So there's a lot of factors still in play. And as a team, we haven't even reached the halfway mark yet of the season. So we're not going to reach the halfway stage of the season until the back end of January. So there's still a lot to play for, and it's going to be a very, very unique end to the season. I'm fascinated of like what the points tallies are going to be, because we've all got it in our head, haven't we? Like 85 will get you the league and 65 will get you the Champions League.
Yeah, it'll be different this one.
Staying up might just be like 20 points this season.
Yes.
So who knows? Who knows?
Well, the irony of most Leicester fans is when we actually went top of the league, we got to 38 points, and rather than celebrating being top of the league, we said, well, we're nearly at 40 points. We're nearly safe now.
That's our mind. That's in our minds, that you get to 40 and you go, right, now the season starts. Now the pressure's off. You can have a go now. Like, you can really, really have a go now. It's weird, isn't it? Having that mindset. That's David Moyes' mindset still in my head. That.
The Man City fans and Man United fans just don't think like that. But for us, it is that. I'm still pleased we stay up at the moment. I think this is our sixth season on the trot. I mean, you guys have been in the Premier League for just ever. But you've diced around with it a few times, but
not that. No, listen, not that many times. You'd be surprised. It's a media narrative. See, if you go back to if you go back to pre all this nonsense with all the managers you had in the last 4 or 5 years. Before that, we were a very consistent top 6 team for a good 12 years. We genuinely finished I think we finished 11th twice twice in 14 years. We were always in the top 6. When we were finishing when we were finishing 5th and 6th. Oh, it was only a big 4. It was only a big 4 then. Now suddenly it's a big 6.
I love this big 6, Peter. I obviously remember Howard Kendall in the 80s. Well, I'd put Everton up there with Liverpool and Man United. I think you're top 4, definitely top 6 club. I don't know where Spurs get into this top 6 from. They've done nothing since 1961.
Listen, we are. Unfortunately, we decided to have our worst run of years in most publicised years. So we all sit here and go, "Oh, football." There was football before 1992, but a lot of people don't think there was football. And unfortunately, that's now like a lot of people don't remember last week. Never mind what happened in
That's lockdown for you.
that is the world we live in now. People don't even people are like, oh, what's that thing from last week? Oh, we're on to a new thing now. So and you have to adapt with it. You have to and that's why Leicester, you guys are doing great, as I said, as a club and everything, and are really doing what I think clubs should be doing now, is puffing out the chest. I mean, going to get Brendan Rodgers for a start, I think was a brilliant move, and it's proved rightly so. And it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. And as I said before, that Europa League, I would be throwing everything at that Europa League, because I think that could be a brilliant way to win a trophy and get a Champions League spot as well.
It's going to be a really good game. There's going to be goals, I think, between Leicester and Everton. There's normally a couple on each side, so I think there will be some goals. I wouldn't like to put any money on it, though. I would predict it.
No, I wouldn't put any money on it, because I honestly can't predict Everton from one week to the next. So it's I think it's gonna be a really good game, and everyone will get their pounds worth, and who's watching on TV. So may the best team win, I suppose. I mean, that's what I've got to say, haven't I? Really, I don't.
I'm not. I'm going to say hope Leicester win.
I hope we batty us.
That's what they want.
Yeah. Hope we destroy us. 6, because we can take 6 points off you. Then maybe people will go, they've got an outside chance for top 9. I think Everton. Let's create
a 6-pointer, like say.
Yeah, let's create a graphic on the TV that shows the top 6, but doesn't include Everton. I don't know where we're going to have to get in the league table for where people start including us in graphics. I'm not sure, but but then it'll be the race for the rest. Then they'll just leave us out.
Yeah,
Phil, it's been absolutely great to speak to you, and I'm looking forward to the game. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a good one, and and whatever happens, let's just stay friendly.
Let's enjoy it.
See you later, Phil.
Cheers.
Big thanks to Phil there from Leicester Fan TV. Really looking forward to this one now. Don't forget, it's live on BT Sport, as is the game against Newcastle on Saturday and the game against Leeds United away, which is coming up. Don't forget, if you want to get BT Sport, it is £25 for the next 30 days without a contract. Every single Premier League team will be featured twice in the next 10 days. Click the link in the description if you want to get that service. Big thanks to Phil, as I said. Give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you want more great videos, join us over on Patreon. See you later.